Good evening, everybody. So I just watched a good game two. So the Knicks, they're up 2-0 against the Spurs. And the score was 105 for the Knicks to 104 for the Spurs. And at the beginning of the game, the Spurs played with energy on both ends of the floor. They're playing good defense. And also they're getting points in transition, forcing turnovers. And the biggest lead that they had in the game was a 12-point lead against the Knicks. But then the Knicks, they came back in the second quarter. And they had a 4-point lead at the end of the first half. And then from the third quarter, the biggest lead that the Knicks had was I think it was around a 12-point lead or 11-point lead against the Spurs. But then the Spurs, they came right back in the fourth quarter, cut down the lead. And then at the end of the play, so Wemby, he turned over the ball. He was trying to pass the ball to Castle, but Castle didn't see the pass from Wemby, and Brunson stole the ball. But then Wemby fouls him, and which is not a good foul. And then Brunson, he made 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. And so Brunson didn't have a good game. He went 7-25 from the field. He had 20 points. And he scored a couple points in the fourth quarter, but it wasn't the same as in game one. But he hit a couple shots, and the Spurs, they were trapping him, and sometimes they were playing single coverage against him. And OG Anunoby, he had a good game. He went 5 of 10 from the field. He had 17 points. He hit clutch free throws. He was hitting his 3-point shots. And then Mikal Bridges had a good game. He went 8 for 13 from the field, and he had 20 points. He was knocking down his 3-point shots, and he was on fire in this game. And then Karl-Anthony Towns, he had a good game. He had 21 points. He went 8 from 11 from the field. He knocked down his 3-point shots, especially against Wembanyama. And he also made a layup again against Wembanyama. And then, OG, he dunked over Wemby. So, but Josh Hart, he didn't score a point. But he made some plays. He had 4 assists. He had 6 rebounds. And Shamet, he had a good game. He had 13 points again. He was knocking down key 3-point shots, making plays. And then it's kind of weird when Brown didn't have Towns and Brunson play, like at the beginning of the fourth quarter. So they managed to keep the lead, but then I thought it was a smart idea to have Towns and Brunson play in the fourth quarter, so this way the Knicks could finish the game. And Wembanyama, he had a better game. He went 11 for 21 from the field. He had 29 points. He was more aggressive, attacking the basket. Also, he shot his 3-point shots, but he went 2 for 6 from 3-point line. And I think it's still too many 3-point shots that he's shooting against the Knicks. But he was getting to the line. He was attacking the basket in transition. And also he was driving to the basket against Towns. And, he was more aggressive in this game. But then, he had the ball at the last couple of seconds, around like 7.5 seconds. And he had a good look over Mitch Robinson, but he missed the last shot. And pretty much at that point, the game was over. And Mitchell Robinson, he gave good minutes. He had 7 points. And he was, playing good defense, rebounded the ball. And, yeah, he gave valuable minutes for the Knicks. Calvin Johnson didn't have a good game. De'Aaron Fox played better. He had 20 points. And Stephon Castle, he didn't have a good game. He went 5 for 14 from the field. Harper played well. He had 15 points. He went 6 for 12 from the field. And he was attacking the basket, being aggressive. Vessel had a good game. Champagnie didn't really have a good game. He went for 2 for 8 from the field. And basically this game just shows that the Spurs, they should have won game 1. And also they should have won this game. Because both games they had big leads, but then they let the lead slip away. But yeah, I give credit to the Knicks because they find a way to not give up and not fold in these games and, come back and win the game. And yeah, it just shows that the Spurs are not ready for the finals, and the Knicks are just, I think they're a better team than Spurs, and they're a deeper team. And, when I think about like the bench for the Spurs, I think the Knicks have a deeper bench. And when you think about it, they have Shaman who could knock down threes. They have Jordan Clarkson who could do the same thing, knock down threes. And they have Alvarado who can knock down threes and make plays for his teammates. And then they have Robinson. So they have more guys who could impact the game in different ways. Whereas like the Spurs, they really don't have like enough players from the bench. All they have is Johnson, who was a 6th man of the year, but he's not playing like one. And then they have Harper. That's their best player from the bench. And that's basically it. Harrison Barnes really doesn't do anything. Cornette doesn't score anything. He's a good defender, though, but he really doesn't do that much to help the team win. And I think that's what's going to hurt them during these other games in the finals. And yeah, I think, I was thinking that the Spurs will win game 2, but maybe the Knicks will even sweep the Spurs from the way it looks because, they didn't play their best game again against the Spurs. So, I think game 3, I think the Knicks will play much better than they did in game 1 and 2. And I don't think the Spurs are going to win any game in Madison Square Garden. Yeah, the crowd and then the noise. I don't think they'll be able to take the pressure, especially in the finals against the Knicks. And I think like the role players will play better. Yeah, so Well, yep. So this is a another bad loss for the Spurs. I mean, they tried doubling Brunson though, but he's able to find open teammates, and that's going to be an issue. And if the open teammate makes a like for example a 3-point shot, then that's going to be a big problem. So, yep. So I thought like the best player in the game was Karl Anthony Towns, and he has a really big impact on the Knicks. His ability to play at the center position against Wembanyama, and also to knock down 3-point shots, to attack the basket from the 3-point line, to make Wemby stay away from the paint, and his ability to play defense against Wemby too, to wear him down. So I really didn't like the officiation in the game. There's a couple like missed calls, yeah. So after Brunson misses the free throw, for example, the Knicks are trying to get the ball, but as the ball fell on the ground, Cornette, he kicked the ball, but they missed, the referees and missed the call. It's supposed to be a kick ball on the Spurs, and it's supposed to be that possession is supposed to be the Knicks ball. And then like there's another call that really didn't like, was how Mitchell Robinson and then Victor were pushing each other, but then Mitchell Robinson gets a technical foul, and then Wembanyama, he pushes Mitchell Robinson, so they don't get a double tech. I didn't like that, and I just felt like the referees were just like giving the Spurs a whole bunch of free throws to maybe help the Spurs win the game. Yeah, but I mean, all that being said, then it didn't work. And the Spurs, they missed a lot of free throws. They missed, I think, about like 8 free throws during this game. So, yeah. Yeah, well, that's all my thoughts about the finals. I think Knicks will win Game 3 and be up 3-0. Yeah, this is the Spurs are cooked. Wemby's not ready, and I don't think Wemby has the killer instinct. I mean, he's a great player, but he just doesn't have that, killer instinct to dominate the game, to take over the game, to win the finals. I mean, I saw him talk, during the huddle. He talks with a lot of passion. I could see, during the timeout, the huddle and stuff like that. But I'm talking about like playing the way he plays the game. You see, in the first half, he was really quiet. He had 7 points in the first half, but then in the second half, he steps up. He has 22 points, and I don't know if he's going to have like a 40-point game or a 50-point game. I don't see that happening against the Knicks, because they have, 2 bigs who could match up with him. And then he has to spend so much energy playing defense, on the 3-point line against Towns, and then Towns having to blow by him. He has to, play defense in the paint. It's just a lot of energy expenditure that he has to use. And then, especially with Mitchell Robinson too. He has to, Mitchell Robinson playing defense against him, being physical with him. I think, I think the finals would just wear him down. I mean, I know he's 22 years old though, but it's just gonna wear him down. So yeah, so Spurs they had a lot of guards who were they had dribble penetration, and then I don't know, but he had two nice blocks in transition. Hart had a nice block in transition against the Spurs. So that's it. That's all. Subscribe to this channel. Like the video. Share the video. Comment what you think. And have a good night. Let's go Knicks. Bye.